Ever felt judged for leaving work on time? Those raised eyeballs, the subtle disapproval as you head to your seats. It's a thing in most companies in my country, Nigeria. I don't know if it's the same in your country. People actually make you feel guilty for leaving at the contracted time. But in Europe, it's totally different. People don't make you feel guilty for leaving at the contracted time. I'll be diving into the work culture, comparing my experiences in Africa and Europe. This is based on my personal experience and some of my friends. If you disagree with anything I say, feel free to share. The first shock I had was during probation. Back home, work probation wasn't a big deal. It was more about being good at what you do and having like very good character. But here, probation feels very intense and very different.
People actually lose their job during probation.
You heard him right? Well, he's right. I'm coming from a culture where getting sacked during probation is like very rare, except you're a terrible person. But yeah, you can be let go for many reasons, like communication issues, cultural differences, and more. So see this. Employment law in Germany is quite protective of employees after probation. In cases where an employee is sacked without valid reason, he or she may be entitled to compensation, and the amount can range from few months' salary to several months. I feel this might be the reason for the intense probation. This law does not work for people in Africa if you're sacked. You're on your own. It took me a while to even mention that I want to take the day off because I was not used to such while I was in Nigeria. Before you can take the day off, you're either maybe in the hospital with drips or something really serious is happening to you before you can take the day off. You can't take the day off because you have a flu or you have headache. Like those are not good reasons to take the day off in Nigeria. But it's surprising to me how flexible it is for you to just reach out to your boss in Europe in Germany that you don't feel too good and you like to take the day off. And they're like, sometimes they might even tell you to take the day off when they see that okay, you don't look too good. Why not take the day off? I'm always really surprised. And this feels like war in Nigeria. Like you have to think of every reason to take a day off. In some part of Europe, the government pays you in case you lose your job, but this is after working for a year. You get a percentage of your former pay to support your needs till you get a new job. If you're in Africa and this happens to you, you're on your own. There's a huge feedback culture in Germany. Like most people expect direct feedback, and you also get lots of feedback that you don't even expect from people. It is not part of our culture in Africa, or let me say Nigeria. Just get your job done. Like, why do you need me to give you any form of feedback? Well, except from permission feedback, yes, but general feedback or random feedback. There's someone who deals with customers a lot, maybe a marketing person or a UX designer or even a product manager. Data privacy is a big deal in Europe. You can't just reach out to customers anyhow unless they consent to it. You need to work with the legal team in your company before getting some very little things done. Approach towards customer data is different in Nigeria. I can send out newsletters if I have a list of emails with or without their consent. Customers can then decide to unsubscribe. That's like the barest minimum I think we can do. But I think this is improving in Nigeria. I was really surprised when my HR reached out to me, I mean in Europe, and she was like, "You've not taken your leave, like make sure you take your leave." And I was like, no HR has ever reached out to me in Nigeria to take my leave. It's like they don't even want you to remember. You can work all year and nobody would reach out to you that have you taken leave this year? Ah, why? Take it. It's only one company I think I've worked with that they actually like. Now my boss actually mentioned taking leave. The rest of the companies I've ever worked with, they don't really care about that, and it's the truth. And I think it's not just a culture. Like they don't see you going on leave as something. And by the time you even want to go on leave, you have to think of reasons, a leave that I'm entitled to. I have to come up with reasons and excuses to why I want to take leave for the year. I've always had this conversation with some of my tech or software developer friends in Africa because I noticed that some of them actually work like overtime or they feel like they have to do it because it's their job, something happens. So, but my issue is that I've or work on a Saturday. I have never really seen any developer that I've worked with, like, or I'm working with in Europe, um, getting stuffs done on a Saturday. Like, it's very rare. Seriously, it's very rare. And I'm saying it because I've worked with two companies and I've never seen it before. And if I say this to some of my friends, they're like, nah, it's very normal for them to do that. I think it's just a culture, and then you don't even get paid for doing the extra work. I'm not saying that you shouldn't like sometimes do extra for your company. That's totally fine. But I only have a problem with when the bosses actually feel like if you don't do it, you can't continue your job kind of feeling. Like I feel that's manipulative. If I know we have to be responsible people, but it's not a normal thing that you're working with them. Like why should you raise PR on a Friday when you obviously know anything can happen? And this is for developers, right? Can't you raise a PR on a Monday? Seriously, you can raise it on a Monday. If anything you want to raise, push it to next week so that you don't have anything happening on Saturday and then you guys have to work. I'm really curious to know what the work culture is like in other countries. I would say that the work-life balance in a country like Germany is actually quite cool, and I would really, really, really like to know what it's like in your country. Please share in the comment below. Please don't forget to subscribe and share with other people, and I would see everyone in my next video.